Cervical cancer. Some think it's rare, others assume it only affects older women. Many believe they'd know if something was wrong. But the truth? It develops silently, and when caught too late, it can be deadly. Could you be at risk? What signs could you miss? And why is prevention easier than you think? It's time to clear up the misconceptions, because cervical cancer is beatable if you act now. Cervical cancer isn't as uncommon as you might think, but it's far more preventable than you realize. We talked to Dr. Glenn Benitez, Section Head of the Section of Gynecology at Makati Medical Center, Dr. John David V. Zamora, Active Consultant at Asian Hospital and Medical Center and a member of the Asian Gynecology and Oncology Group Incorporated, Dr. Zelda Sue A. Concepcion de Leon, Active Consultant at the Central Luzon Doctors Hospital, and Mrs. Racel Lau, a cervical cancer patient, to learn about their experience and expertise.
Cervical cancer is cancer of the cervix or yung kwelyo ng matres. Yun yung nasa opening ng uterus or yung womb or yung bahay bata.
Cancer of that area involves abnormal growth of cervical tissue. Usually becomes big and becomes a big mass.
Actually, I don't have any idea about cervical cancer because I thought na I'm a healthy person. Wala ako nakikitang unusual signs before until I passed out nung wedding day ko. Before ng wedding ko, nag-bleed ako, severe bleeding. Nag-wear lang ako ng diaper para at least maano yung period. And then, natapos na yung buong ceremony, nagdire-diretso pa rin yung bleeding. And then, until sa reception, nung kumakain na lahat, bigla na lang akong nahimatay. Nung nagkamalay na ako, nasa ER na ako. And then they need to put me in the ICU for 2 days because my blood is very low. Ni-refer nila ako to my doctor, Dr. Zamora from Asian Hospital. And then nag-biopsy. I was diagnosed cervical cancer stage 2.
Sa umpisa ng cervical cancer, hindi natin siya nararamdaman o hindi natin siya nakikita. Pero habang lumalaki yung cancer, napapansin natin na magkakaroon tayo ng abnormal bleeding or pagdudugo kahit tapos na ang regla, kalagitnaan ng regla, or sa mga babaeng nag-menopause na, after menopause, magkakaroon sila ng bleeding ulit. As the cancer gets bigger, magkakaroon din ng abnormal vaginal discharge. Parang tubig yung lumalabas sa puwerta. Minsan may amoy, no? Parang, or yung itsura niya, para siyang hugas isda. Parang reddish or brownish na watery discharge.
The mass can give off a foul smell and detectable from a far distance. If a patient comes in, we can smell the mass. We already suspect cervical cancers.
Habang lumalaki ang bukol, as with all cancers, nagkakaroon na siya ng pain, pananakit sa puson, sa likod, sa balakang. At sa mga later stages, nagkakaroon na ng pagpapayat, nangangayayat yung patient, nangihina, at nawawalan ng ganang kumain.
Cervical cancer, compared to other cancers, is considered to be an acquired cancer. We acquire it through a virus that can be sexually transmitted. Therefore, it's not genetically transferred. Just because you have a relative who developed cervical cancer doesn't mean you will get it. But the problem is, everybody can get it if they get that high-risk HPV virus.
All women who have had sexual intercourse are at risk of having cancer. Pero hindi lahat ng babae na nagkaroon ng sexual contact will have cervical cancer. Hindi lang naman yung penetrative sexual intercourse, oral and anal intercourse, nakukuha din siya.
Cervical cancer is not possible in males, because males do not have the cervix. They may be infected, but they will not exhibit usually symptoms, or the virus does not cause anything to the male organ.
For some reason, it does not convert to cancer in the penile organ, but it can be transmitted by the male.
Yung risk factors, yun yung magpapalala dun sa infection. So, smoking, no? Kasi smoking plays a major factor. Yung pag-inom din ng oral contraceptive pills ng matagal, major factor din siya. And yung pagkakaroon ng maraming anak. And yung maagang pakikipagtalik. At yung maraming nakatalik. The virus will take around 10 years para maging siyang full-blown cancer.
Ang cervical cancer kasi slow-growing siya, just like what my doctor explained to me, na hindi siya instant na nangyari lang today, tapos may cancer ka na kinabukasan. So maybe, younger pa ako, nag-start na yung infection, na-ignore ko lang.
So treatment for cervical cancer, sometimes it can be from the simplest one, surgical. It's usually done for the very early stages. And then radiotherapy together with chemotherapy for those higher stages, stage 2 and above. Or the tumor is more than 4 centimeters and above. For higher, even the higher stages, mga stage 3 and above, or yung recurrent, yung nauulit after treatment, we may add also other treatment modalities, such as your targeted treatments, for example, your immune therapy, and your biologicals.
Yung duration ng external radiation plus chemotherapy ay kabuuan 6 weeks. After nun, magkakaroon siya ng internal radiation which can range to 2 to 4 weeks. Mga around 8 weeks yung kabuuan ng treatment.
Chemoradiotherapy is standardized already for all stages of the disease, and it's pretty much following the same schedule, whether it's stage 1 or stage 4. Difference probably would be that if we do see a stage 4 patient and we do a metastatic workup to look for tumor, we will also radiate those areas on the same schedule also.
As far as primary prevention, vaccination is good, it's very effective. And also your screening, which consists of your pap smear and your HPV DNA typing. So I would like to clarify lang yung vaccination. We call it prophylactic vaccination, meaning you don't have the virus yet, but it can be given. It's not for treatment. It's to prevent transmission of the virus.
We want to give children 9 or 10 years of age to give them the HPV vaccine. And it's easy to do that because these are children who are seeing their pediatricians for baby visits, and they are undergoing vaccination anyway. So we give 2 doses of the HPV vaccine before the age of 14. And that would suffice already for their entire life. If above 14, let's say 15 and higher age, we have to give 3 doses of the vaccine. This is recommended for both male and female.
Ang cervical cancer ay naiiwasan. It is the second most common cancer among Filipino women after breast cancer. And it is the 4th most common cause of death sa mga babaeng may cancer.
There are a wide variety of things to do to prevent or make it less of a risk to develop cervical cancer. Number 1 is lifestyle. Okay? Less stress to the, easier said than done, but less stress to the body, good diet, healthy living, exercise, 1, and also your lifestyle preferences in sexual activity.
We can prevent this disease. I can't say that for other cancers, but we can prevent cervical cancer because if you have the vaccine, you have a lower chance of developing the cervical malignancy. And if somebody is just doing the proper screening, the proper tests, and there are very accurate screening tests such as the HPV DNA test, we can catch this and easily treat it, and nobody has to develop cervical cancer. So it's a very preventable disease today, right now.
Kailangan sumusunod sila dun sa mga payo ng doktor, sa gamutan, kailangan makumpleto nila, and always magkakaroon ng positive outlook sa buhay. Na sa kabila ng pagkakaroon nila ng cancer, hindi ito ang katapusan para sa kanila.
And to all the women out there, whether you're sexually active or not sexually active, regardless of your age, pag meron kayong na-observe na unusual sa body ninyo, have yourself checked. Kasi pag nalaman nyo na mas maaga, mas matitreat ng maaga. And then to those patients na dumadaan sa journey ng treatments, katulad ko, nangyari yan sa akin, nalagpasan ko. So stay positive, maniwala lang kayo na walang imposible sa Diyos and God will heal you.
Presented by Metro Pacific Health, the largest group of private hospitals in the Philippines.